What's going on, my YouTube family? Welcome back to another video with the Hidden Creator Within. It's your boy, Chris Nix. And I'm just grateful for you all to be here. If it's your first time to the channel, then welcome. Like I said, it's good to have you along here. Just to give you a little bit about my background, I've been in this field as far as just like success principles and personal development, tied along with the spiritual aspect and the spiritual element. I've been within this field for almost 10 plus years. I'm only 23, so some of you all may be asking, what, 13? Yes, that's when I really started reading into more of metaphysics, into the occult. And that's really where I kind of get my start at here. And then from there, it led to like personal development books. And I've just kind of been that serial entrepreneur ever since. And just been looking, for ways to continue to keep adding on to my assets and making more. And I feel like I've come to a point within this journey that I'm finally able and ready to share with people and just, share what worked for me, what I was able to use to get me started and to get me going. And hopefully that somebody's able to find some type of benefit and value out of that. So again, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you do find something out of this that you like and you enjoy, please make sure to subscribe. But nonetheless, we're going to jump right into it. So really the main intent and the purpose of this video is to just kind of give you three basic, surface level, honestly, just kind of principles or things that you can do on a daily basis to kind of help you get further along in your journey. So the first one would be is, what are your daily actions? What are you doing on a daily basis? What are you doing when you find yourself in the moment? Are you doing things that are going to be productive? It's going to help you accomplish your goal or help you learn a skill, something that you've been needing to, get out the way. Or are you sometimes like myself, scrolling through Facebook for hours at a time where you kind of get sucked in and it's hard to get out of it. I get there. I've been there. I understand how that can be. Or maybe, you're watching a Netflix show, maybe too many episodes at an hour each of time. One of the things I would always say is time is your most valuable commodity that you do have. So how are you spending that? How are you investing that time? And that really translates to, what do you do on a daily basis? So that's really the first one to really start off with. And the second one, which is, it kind of ties on within what you do on that daily, but it's really, how often are you taking a step back to reflect and meditate? I know depending on, whatever your religious beliefs may be or whatever, how you grew up, your environment, you may not be too big on meditation, but meditation or just taking this time to sit back, sit down, be quiet, and reflect is crucial and important. In the world that we live in, we're always constantly on the go. Either it's, you have the job, and if you have children, you got to get home, get the children fed. If they're in extracurricular activities, sports, whatever it may be, you have to, have time to allocate for that. And you're just always going, going, going. Then you go to sleep and you wake up and do the same thing over and over again. And you get in this routine. And it's like, I'm just going, but I don't feel like I'm getting anywhere. And then you may be, on the other hand, somebody who's always busy, who's always nonstop, who's doing a lot of work, but they're not seeing a lot of, like they say, they're not seeing the fruits of their labor, the fruits of their work. They're not really seeing it be beneficial for them. So one of the reasons, or one of the things, what I say is, take a step back and reflect. I'm sure you all have heard that saying is, you need to take, a step back to get a couple of steps ahead. This is exactly what, I kind of mean by that. And then the thing about meditation is when you're meditating, and it gives you a time to really sit with yourself and really be one with you and understand, okay, what am I doing? What am I doing on a daily basis? Maybe I can cut out some time into not being on the game so long. Maybe I can, that time that I would have the game, let me go read this book that I've been putting off for a while that I know I need to do. You can really have a time to just sit back and reevaluate and reconsider the choices that you have made and ask yourself, is this choice helping me to get ahead? Is this choice helping me to get further to the lifestyle that I'm trying to have, or helping me get closer to the goal that I'm looking for? Or if it isn't, then let me reconsider and think about exiting this out. Another thing, another key part about meditation is when you combine that with visualization. One of the reasons why this is so important is when you begin to meditate and you begin to see yourself doing the things that you need to do in order to kind of help you get ahead. whatever that may be. For me, one of the things that I do is I am a digital entrepreneur. I heavily invested within the Dow Jones, and I also have other investments outside of that. But one of the things that I'm always doing is constantly learning, constantly trying to grow. But before I go do an activity, I like to visualize to see how I like to play itself out. What that allows me to do is essentially give my mind a blueprint of what to operate off of. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to exactly go this way and it's always going to, whatever you visualize, that's how it's going to play out. But what I have come to find is it essentially gives me one, if I have to go speak in front of some people or if I'm speaking in front of a group, it helps me to one, kind of bring that energy in what I'm looking to use or I'm looking to kind of tap into, I guess I should say, in order to have the best presentation or to give me the confidence that I'm looking for in order to speak to these individuals. Another thing about that is on what's kind of going on within your mind, all these neurons that are making these connections. And once these connections are making, one of the things that happens when a neuron makes a connection or a synapses is what they call the scientific term of it. What's going on is you have what they call a neurochemical signal, electrochemical signal that's being sent. And sometimes these electrochemical signals can send neurotransmitters. And from that, it's going to essentially secrete some type of chemical, whether it be like dopamine, epinephrine, I'm probably not saying that right, gamma, whatever it may be, it's producing that. And the thing which you have to understand is your mind is very, very, very powerful. I'm pretty sure you've heard this. It's the greatest tool that you have in your arsenal. But when your mind, and specifically the unconscious mind, which is also known as the body, these chemicals are being produced and the body has this addiction towards it, or it likes that chemical that it's experiencing. So this is the same reason why you may know of a relative or somebody who may have some form of addiction to something, because it's, yes, they consciously on a conscious level, they want to stop doing that. But on a subconscious or an unconscious level, they have this addiction towards that because there's a chemical balance that's being emitted when they're doing that. So when you're drinking or when you're overeating, excessive eating, it makes you feel more comfort and more happy, and that dopamine starts going off, and your body becomes addicted to that chemical. So when that happens, it makes it a little bit harder to try to basically get out of that addiction or get out of that habit cycle or that loop, and you keep doing it over and over again. So one of the ways to kind of reprogram yourself is through the meditation, through the visualization. Then you back that up with the daily action that's only going to help you get further and further along. So the next one, which I really think is very, very important with any type of journey, any type of goal, anything that you're trying to accomplish, is having a journal. One of the biggest things I'm big on is being self-sufficient, self-sustaining, self-reliant. And one of the ways to do this is you have to be your own worst critic at times. You have to know what's not working in order to not do that same thing over again, to change it, to change up the routine or change up the action or change up the habit in order to get ahead a little bit further. And that's one of the important things about journaling. Now, I know sometimes within men, it's, you shouldn't keep a journal. You don't want to put your emotions. And I'm not even necessarily saying that it has to be something like that. It can be as simple as just a journal of, okay, this is what I did today. This is what I got from this. This is what helped me. And then you can start having that conversation with yourself of what can I do better in order to maybe improve the work that I'm already doing? How can I become more efficient within that? But things like that. So just to kind of give you a quick recap of what we went over today, the first thing is 1, be focused, be very intentional with your daily actions. 2, take a step back and reflect and meditate. And then 3, journal. Track everything. What you track grows. Remember that. What you track grows. So track your progress. Right now, like I said earlier, what works, what doesn't work, and learn from that. As the ancient Egyptian said, or ancient Kemetic saying is, know thyself. All the answers are contained within. And that's really that's one of the reasons why we do the meditation, and that's why we do the journaling. So nonetheless, stay tuned. I'm definitely going to have some more videos coming for you. So like I said, if you did get some value out of this, make sure to subscribe. And then I'm also going to drop a link to my Facebook page. And also, we're getting the website up here and going. So that'll be here momentarily. I will let you know when I drop that. And I definitely do have one-on-one sessions. I do have a masterclass that I help people. I go really in depth in this, and all the nitty gritty, all the little small details. But more, like I said, definitely make sure to subscribe, and I'll be coming at you next time. Peace.